All right. Oh, I am done trading for the day. Figured I would hop on, see if I can't answer people's questions really quick. Let's see. So I traded a couple different accounts. This is some of my funded futures accounts. So you can see 2,700 on that one today. And then if I switch over to this one, you can see we're up to another $2,700. So I think that's they both 2,700. That was not intentional. I traded these completely separate. These are not linked. 2708. 708. How is that possible? That's not updating. That's not updating, right? No. Wow. That's crazy. Did I earn the same amount, almost to the same, the same dollar amount on two accounts that I traded separately? No, that's not possible. The numbers aren't updating, right? Because that's 40 trades. That's 8 trades. The numbers are updating. That's crazy. I don't even know. That was not intentional. That's a complete fluke. That is crazy. I don't know. 40 trades, y'all, and literally the exact same P&L. I did take some big losses. I was doing some bigger trades on this account today, but that is the funniest thing. How is that even possible? 40 trades. That can't be, right? Yeah, no, that's right, because that's 2,865, then $156 in fees, and the other account was 2760, 2760, and the fees were 51. Yeah, dog, that is the most bizarre thing ever. I I keep on flipping back and forth because that is literally insane. I scalped to the exact same cent on two accounts. I couldn't do that even if I tried. That's bizarre. That is so funny. All right. Um wow. It caught me off guard. That was just like really one of those things that I did not uh expect, man. So let's go ahead and post this link in QuantView and kind of see who comes in here. Let's open up Discord and see if anybody wants to come in here. Going to answer some questions here. I don't know how to get a link to the stream. I just go to YouTube here. See if I can't grab a link really quick. Stream. Kind of going to break down kind of my my trading today too. All right. So here we go. We are going to so basically today was pretty easy. We had some pretty nice moves early on today. Especially if you're just looking at the 5-minute chart today. We also had like kind of like a hidden channel as well, fib channel. I don't know if that's the correct term for it. So if like you do a fib channel from like here to here, that's not what I want. I want the regression channel here. Regression channel. Oh yeah, I should probably post that in the general chat as well. Let's see. I wanted to grab the regression channel because we had a crazy, nice channel this morning. It's called a regression channel. I think it's called a regression channel. Where is it? Fib fan. It's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, let's trend bias extension. Is that it? No, it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, in here, here it is. Parallel channel. Yeah, parallel channel maybe. Yeah, parallel channel. That's what I was thinking about. That's what I want to put on here. We had this very interesting parallel channel today that not a lot of people saw. Send that out. Send that side out. Send that side out. So, let's see. That's not what I want. I think I wanted it. So yeah, so it was a pretty nice like little channel here that we had this morning going up. And this is something that I was looking at, you know, as we kept on going up, kind of coming back down to this midline here and bouncing off of it. It was all right. It wasn't bad. I think we could even open up the channel like that. Then line in the middle of the channel. I'm going to line to the bottom wick here and then extend that up to match. And then extend this lower one to match the midline. So yeah, so something like that. So that's the channel I was looking at. There we go. So pretty much, you know, bouncing off this mid channel here, right? And then coming, constantly coming back down to it. And then when we broke, we kind of came back up to the midline of the channel and then came back to the side and then rode the side up. It was an interesting, I don't look at channels like this very often. But it's something that recently, you know, I have some friends that trade this way, and so I kind of wanted to just make a video kind of about the channel here, kind of just talk about it. But it's like, you know, when you're looking at this on a 5 minute after we formed like this here and here, right? Once we have these two to go off of, you can kind of predict this one a little bit. And then it's like, when if we come back through and we had this retest and this fail, another retest here and kind of a fail, there's definitely something to these channels on a 2 minute or 5 minute. It's probably even clear on a 2 minute or 5 minute, but most of my trades today were just taken going up on this channel, and had a relatively decent day on most of my accounts. I don't think any of my accounts are negative on the day, so not bad. And then also, you know, if you wanted to scalp today, you know, you could tell that where some good entries were. I think one of the things that to look out for here, like, are good entries to get back in on an uptrend like today, is when we have these pullbacks to this bottom band. But today was like an interesting start because it was like really hard to tell whether or not we were going up. This is kind of like also where it's like, I like to have like, you know, where we have like a trend line of some kind where it's like, okay, this is the break of that trend in open. Right after open, we break it, we come back down, and we don't form a new low and we start to shoot higher. So that's kind of confirmation. Once we get the band above the trend line, that's kind of one of those things that I can look out for as well. It was a good day, man. It was a good day trading. Have a couple accounts ready for payouts now, so I need to send in some of those requests on Wednesday next week, because I think that's when Apex allows me to take payouts. I need to figure out when I can take payouts on these accounts here. I need to look at how my funded futures payout stuff is. So this is like 50K account, so this was like 2,700 today, and this other one was also 2,700. I've already went over this, but it's hilarious because these two accounts ended up making the exact same amount of money, completely different trades. Never traded these traded these accounts completely separated today. And that's just, it's so funny to me. I had like double check that it wasn't like glitching, that like I literally to the cent made the exact same amount on two different accounts, trading two different times, not copy trading. This one has 8 trades, the other one has how much does the other one have? The other one has 40 trades. And literally somehow made the exact same amount down to the penny on both accounts. Total fluke. Total fluke. What's up, T-Bone? I figured I would come on live and just like kind of answer questions that people might have about QuantView. And some of the indicators and the layouts that people use and stuff. I know, let's see, hold up, share. Actually, you know what? Let me just go into the QuantView server and pull up Jay's chart. So I took a lot of trades off Jay's chart this week. I actually really like his chart layout. I think it's good for newcomers, and it's in the QuantView Discord channel. I ran up an Apex account this week, just to pass an eval. Nothing crazy. Let's see. Where is the screenshot of that account? Because that account was wild. Let's see. Screenshot of that account is this one. I just realized that I can't really show that unless I throw it into Streamlabs. I can throw it into Streamlabs really quick. So if I could do that, can I just drop it in there? No, can't. Let's do images. That's source. All right, yeah. Oh, I can do it that way. Pull up the picture. This account. There we go. So that's me running up an eval account really quickly. I went to the Ninja Trait Indicators, but worried that what's currently offered is not enough. I see. So you want to get the Ninja. I don't. You want the Ninja stuff, but you don't know if it's enough stuff that's in it. I know we're planning on building, putting some more stuff out on the Ninja indicators. I'm not sure where that currently is. That's something that I would probably just ask Tusi in Discord. Yeah, so that was that account from just the other day. That was a great little run up on that account. Oh, it did. Why is there another picture? Maybe it did cross over. Yeah, but honestly, I like the Ninja Ninja indicators, I haven't scalped them as much as I've wanted to, or used them as much as I've wanted to. Mainly just because it's like I don't want to change what I'm doing too much, right? Like it's like I have my system that works right now, and I feel like by changing stuff, sometimes you end up, sometimes when you change stuff, you end up not doing as good, and it's like it's kind of like where I've only really messed with it with eval accounts. I haven't really messed with it on like any live accounts with the ninja stuff, just because again, it's like I'm not trying to lose money trying to test out the new some of the new indicators that we have. This is kind of also gets into like, this is rare for me to be testing out somebody else's chart layout, so that eval run up that you just saw, like where it's like I ran up like 3,000 something dollars, that eval was literally done off of this chart, this chart layout. And honestly, it wasn't, dude, it wasn't too hard. And I think this chart layout's actually pretty good for people that are new to trading. I've been taking a look at it. I don't necessarily pay attention to the middle chart at all. I don't even really pay attention to this chart on the right. More so have been paying attention to this chart on the left. But there's a couple, and the 15 and the 5 minute. The 5 minute chart is critical. I think the 15-minute chart is also very crucial. And especially like yesterday, where on the 15-minute, it's kind of like on the 15-minute chart, it's just really easy to see like where we have change of structures, right? Like once we break above a level, right, it's really easy at a glance to be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be bullish or bearish anymore. And the 5 minute, it's really easy to see like when we have a level that's being respected over and over and over again on Wix versus like trying to see that on Rinko. Sometimes it's difficult because you're too zoomed in, So that's it's not a bad layout. I know he's been taking, I'm not sure exactly how Jay's initiating his trades off of this. For the most part, I was just looking for levels here, and scalping levels to pass that eval really quick. But I know he's talked about to me, or at least talked to people in the server about, waiting for a Q wave bull and then waiting for a print on the money ball on this chart and then taking it long. I'm not sure what his stop would be and stuff, or maybe once you get both these, wait for like a little pullback to the midline, and then entering long. So it's like confirmation. It's like here we're long, and then you're waiting for a pullback and a bounce to get in. I'm not exactly sure how he's initiating his longs, because like realistically, if you took this long, if you took this long on this Q wave or that dot right there, you'd be getting in here. You could probably get at least a couple $100 off that actually. Wouldn't take this because we're going up for the day, so you wouldn't take any of these bear signals. You would take this Q wave bull or this Q wave bull. Both would actually probably print you off a couple $100. That would be a winning trade. That'd be another winning trade. We have a bear alert here, and we have a diamond there on the money ball. So that would have been a couple $100. So that's another winning trade. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, this might not be actually that bad of a setup to trade. This is chop. You get this, but then you get this diamond right here. And if you would have got in on that diamond, this probably would have been a losing trade. I mean, hopefully you would cut that trade quickly. But if you didn't, that would be your first big winning trade or losing trade on the day. But it's like kind of funny because if you held it through all this drop, you would actually be profitable in that trade. This kind of gets into, should you follow this signal here? Like when we're coming up to the midline, right? And you enter in on the signal, would you this is where it's like nice to have that 3 box Rinko, because you can see where we have a dot here and a squeeze to the downside. So I probably wouldn't take this, but I'm also looking at this previous level right here, right? And where that is a previous level of like resistance, right? Or so it is very possible that we could reject there. And this is kind of like the things that is hard to see. It's like, when you're trading for the first time, um, it's hard to like notice, hey, this was a level right on this side, and this could be a respected level on this side. It's kind of easy. This is like where it's like, for me, it's easy to see kind of this is like a shoulder. That makes sense. And we have that same level on this side as well, and could have a little bit of rejection um there. So it's like one of those things to be careful with. Let's see. Wouldn't be taking any of these. I probably, you would take this, right? You're already kind of QA bull coming out of the chop. Then we get the green diamond. Take it and see what happens. That would be profitable. Let's see. QA bear. We do get diamonds there. So if you took that, that would have been a profitable trade. We have a bull, but no diamond, but we have this upward momentum. I would not be taking this. We have a bull right here. That would be a winning trade for a couple $100 as well. Yeah, so this is the interesting this thing. It's like following the Q wave bull signals with the diamond on the money ball with these settings work really well. I mean, I think just by following those signals, you could be profitable. There are some signals that I would stay out of, right? And that's where I guess learning this is going to, learning the system is going to become more valuable, Um, and this is kind of like where it's like automation can't, yeah, technically, could you automate all these signals? Yes. Could you automate this diamond as long as it's in confluence with a bull signal or a bear signal? Yes. But there are like the downsides are like, where it's obviously chop, right? Like there's just downsides to it. Like it's not going to know that like that was a shoulder, right? It's not going to know that we just had this big ripped up and we're ripping down, and that it might not want to take this long on this level right here where that red line is, right? This level right here, right, where we had this nasty wick, right? It's like those levels, like you might not want to trade. And so, yeah, I mean, what's crazy is I think like when Jay first started, I think this is like for the most part, like his system was waiting for a coup wave bull signal and a diamond, and he got multiple payouts doing that. So, um, and now he's a 5-figure prop trader. Within how long has it been? 4 months now. So that's awesome. This is why I'm like looking at his chart too. It's like nobody gave him this stuff. Like nobody told him how to lay these 5 out. He sat there and watched all the videos and kind of came up with his own chart layout to do this. So I think it's sick. And I've had success trading it, and I think most people can. Now this is also kind of gets into like too, like there's times of days where I just wouldn't trade this, right? I mean, we're kind of Fridays. If you don't know already, Fridays notoriously trade sideways after the big move during the day. So it's like, as you can see that today, like we went up today, right? Once we got to this level, this whole afternoon, we're in this range. We're in a 90, what about a 50-point range here, right? Just we're chopping back and forth. But as we end the day on Fridays, we'll always end up doing this type of movement, right? So like we're ending the day Friday, we finally broke out of that channel, right? And we're consolidating basically for the rest of the day. Like this is that's how usually the end of Friday's trade, right? End of Fridays usually trade this way. Dun 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 dun, dun until the end of the trading day. It's going to drop in this range. Now, on the rare occasion, could we see a huge breakout on a Friday and then like a drop to the downside? It's possible. It is not the norm on a Friday. The Fridays are Friday afternoons are definitely typically just drop sideways. So if you make your money in the morning, there's no reason to try to trade what you know is going to be drop. Um, so that's kind of the rules that I have like around. If you make your money in the morning, get out, man. Like, I mean, if you look over here, like these accounts were traded at one time 4:26, so 9 a.m. to 10 on that account, and then on the other account was probably 8:51 to 8:52. So, which was not uh which is not Eastern Standard Time. That's like an hour before Eastern Standard Time. So those were both within market hours. Um, so just trying to get better. And there were some very bad trades I took this morning on these accounts. And this kind of gets into like if you don't have a trailing drawdown, right? Or if you're outside your trailing drawdown, it's like you can take bigger losses or bigger trades or hold trades for longer. Like I held this trade. Probably should have cut it off at like $100, but I kind of have this like thing where and you'll see a lot of times when I'm in trades and I'm in profit, right? Um, I'm willing to risk that profit, especially if I don't have a trailing drawdown. Like on the day, it's like, okay, yeah, it's like I know I can lose, you know, uh I was at $1,700. So it was like, yeah, was I willing to double down on trade and like try to hold it and see if it could, hold it till it came back? Yeah. But at some point I did cut it. But it's because I'm up on the dance. Like I know that I'm not going to. I cut it before I even lost money on the day. I did continue taking more trades. And if you wonder like why all these trades are like super tiny here, is because all those were micros. So I did switch between micros and minis today on this account. But overall, that's it's kind of one of those things that you can kind of judge and get used to yourself. It's like making $2,700 in one trading day is not bad. Um, and so there's different there's definitely different ways of trading. Um, there's scalping, and my whole thing with like my funded future accounts, which are these accounts, right? You can see my average trade times in the 5 minute range. If I go over to the other my funded futures account, my average trade time today on this account was still a minute. And that's because they don't like scalping. They don't like people that have average trade times under 10 seconds. So that's one of the things where it's like, you just don't do it. Stay within whatever prop firm you're trading, you just stay inside of kind of their rules. And yes, for the most part, I love scalping. I would much rather go on Apex and run up accounts and scalp than, try to do slow trading. And so it's different. It's different. It's not different for me because I can swing trade. I can trade different styles. But like whenever you're looking, I feel like on like my funded features, it's like I'm looking for those bigger moves. Like I'm looking for like the 5 minute trend. Like I'm looking for, can I capitalize on 1,000 point, $1,000 move with two contracts. And if so, like where would be a good entry here, right? On a 5 minute. So that's that's definitely stuff that I'm looking into or looking at. I see that I have a couple eight people watching right now. Or I don't know what the number is. Um, actually, let's not do that because I don't know what's on that chart. Um, but yeah, I mean, so definitely, I'm also always testing different things. what was kind of sad today too is that it's like I kind of hope that we had tested the daily VWAP today. Um, that was like one of those entries that, if we were to pull back, like, could we touch the daily VWAP? And where I was hoping that we would end up touching the daily VWAP, we just didn't do. It would have been a nice entry on another account, but I was hoping that we would come down more like this and like basically touch the daily VWAP right here. And it would be with this level here. It would be lined up with the bottom band. It'd be lined up with the bottom of this channel. Like, that's what I thought that we would do. And then I thought we would probably try to push up out of there. But we never came back to touch the daily VWAP. And I don't know. So that's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I was planning on running or trying to take a trade on another account that I did end up scalping on, just to get it to as a trading day on a prop account. But it's it's not if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and that's kind of the hard thing, um with trading is like, you have these ideas in your head of like what's a good trading setup, but then you know you have what actually happens in the market. The most, I guess, the most recent thing I've been looking at too is trying to take more trades earlier in the morning off levels. And so it's something that I've been playing around with, because it's like I want like kind of like an opening breakout strategy, but a little bit different. So I've been trying to. It's really just like it's like whenever we form levels like this, right? Like within the small range right before we break out, right? These levels are really interesting to me because a lot of times, like, they can act as support or resistance, or people who can play the breakout of those zones. Um, but I'm more interested in trying to take the take the bounce off of those zones. And so I've been doing like a lot of trying to build it into strategies and back test like ideas, to see if I can have like one daily setup trade every single day where it's profitable. The other thing too is also like a end of day after 3 p.m. breakout trade as well. So it's kind of the same concept of like would be like highlighting like this zone here, right? So from 2:30, let's just say it's a 2:30 to like 3, all the way to 3. So not that candle, so before 3. And then basically just trade the breakout of this, right? So technically you would enter long there and then aim for X amount of points. So it's the same concept of like the morning breakout, but just doing it in the afternoon instead. But it's hard to nail down like a specific time. That 2:30, that 2:30, 2:33, because sometimes you can have stuff like we had yesterday where it's like the 2:33 zone yesterday would be this zone, would be literally from all the way here all the way to 2:30 to 3, be this zone here. So it'd be that zone, but it's the same concept. It's like you want to trade I guess it'd be all the way up to, is this the 3 p.m. candle? That's the 3 p.m. candle. So it'd be this zone. So you're trading like the breakout of it at 3, right? The same kind of concept. And I'm playing around with like that idea of taking an afternoon, basically taking the concept of the opening breakout strategy and then applying it to a different time. I've also looked at doing it during London session as well. It's just not reliable. You have to either do it in the afternoon session or you only have to do it in the morning session. Those are the only two reliable, consistent trading opportunities I feel like that you have. Let's see if we have another one here at 230. 230. This is, again, this is just something that I'm back testing right now. It's not, it's definitely not near something that I'm willing to trade just yet. So 230. So basically, so the problem with this though is like then you have something like this where at 3 you have these wicks down still here, right? Which technically, you to code this into a script, right? All these would be entries unless you're waiting for a close outside of the zone. You know, if you're waiting for a close, then it would be here, right? You would have this close, you would be entering on this candle here, have a little bit of drawdown, you'd have your profit. So, again, just it's not something I'm willing to trade just yet, but it is something that I've been kind of trying to think about. This is like a bunch of crazy trend lines that you're going to see on this day. But this is something that I'm definitely trying to kind of work into a consistent strategy, I guess would be the word to use here. Let's see, that's the 3 p.m. candle. So basically, it'd be the same concept of like taking that short right there once it breaks, and you'd have a little bit of pullback, but oh, it's kind of the same concept. Like that's that range, and you're waiting for the breakout of it. So I'm kind of looking at potentially doing like a breakout. Either you know, I'm used to trading the breakout of trends, right? But trends don't always happen. So what's something that does happen every single day? Well, like a specific time, right? And so then if you can box up a specific time and then trade that breakout of that time, how accurate is that breakout, right? So that's kind of one of the concepts that I am testing right now. But I'm looking to do. I know a lot of people trade orb setups, and orbs have been around for as long as I've known about orbs for years. And people have different ways of trading orbs. If you don't know what orb means, it just means opening breakout. So opening range breakout, but people, I think it's more common on ES than NQ. And then people have different ways of doing it. Some people will stagger it into some people will stagger it into orders. Some people will use like the stop loss of the previous candle. Like an orb breakout on this one, you'd probably end up taking either off this wick or here, and then like people make their stop loss a lot of times like the candle before it, right? So if you this would be crazy because I mean the candle before it would be all the way up here. That would be wild. I would not want to have my stop all the way up there. But that's the concept, is that you are going to or wait till this closes outside of that. So it closes outside on this candle, right? And then you'd use this candle above as the previous as the stop. Same concept. But yeah, I mean, and then there's other things that people can do, like where they'll scale until like a certain number of contracts depending on how far back that stop loss is. Basically, the idea would be like managing your risk, making sure that your risk is always the same. Like you're willing to risk to X amount of dollars per trade, and you can scale in your contracts and have a set stop, and then that way it's like every single day. So you know that this trade, you only need to make X amount of money per day, and then some people have different risk to reward or static take profit levels. There's so many different ways of doing range breakouts. And just trying to kind of figure out what's profitable and what's not, what time of days are profitable, what times of days aren't, so anyways, that's it. I'm just rambling now. It's 4:08. So I'm gonna hop off and go grab some food now. So yeah.